Secret in the Dirt. Sevam1. We're in, guess we're episode 2. And it's not as cold in the barn today, so that's nice. I got 3 layers on today. And my beer shirt got washed, which is great, so I can wear it again. I'm not wearing like a super grubby thing. I'm pretty excited because we're cooking with gas now. We've got the Sevam1.com going. We've got the group going inside of Secret in the Dirt, the Sevam1 group, and so it all is working, and I've got some videos here. So I guess we should just get on with it and have a look at what we've got for a question. This is one Jimmy had to start us off. Terry started us off with one, and then it was Jimmy. So let's see what he's got up his sleeve.
Hey Sevam1, I got a question for you. Question today is about the grip. As you know, in Hogan's 5 lessons, he talks about the left hand, how important it is to keep the pressure in the last 3 fingers. But when I take my my left hand grip, I feel like there's just as much pressure in the left thumb and forefinger. In fact, when I come in through impact, if I hold pressure on that right there, it feels like it increases accuracy a lot. So I feel like there's just as much pressure there as there is in the rest of the hand. So I'd like to know your thoughts about the left thumb and forefinger and what you think about it.
Okay, well, I guess I think a lot about all of that. And the first thing is the last 3 fingers. Your last 3 fingers are what I call the jam jar fingers. And I call that because if you're going to open a jam jar, an average person is not very strong with these fingers. So you're going to clamp down on those last 3 fingers. So if you were to look at the way that someone who is starting golf is going to best be equipped to manage the club, to have a hold of the club, you're going to be talking about the last 3 fingers of this hand. So this is where you start. That's not necessarily all there is to it. And Hogan would have said that those 3 were the main pressure points. I don't think he would have said that they were the only pressure points. We'll check what it says in the book and all that. But the thing is that when you start someone in golf, when you get someone going, this is where you start with these 3 fingers. The reason you do that is because most people have a great difficulty squaring the club face. That comes from being not golf strong, I'll call it. They don't have the hands that are strong in the right way to square the golf club. When you hold it at the end of the shaft with these last fingers, and if you were to talk to, Tommy Armour, I love his book, How to Play Your Best Golf All the Time, one of my favorites. And also Hogan talks about the last 3 fingers, and book after book after book after book talks about the last 3 fingers, because that is basically what gets you so that you can turn it over and you can hit or draw. And so if you're talking about someone who's just beginning golf, that's where you want to get them. You want to get them so that this can happen. Now, as you get better at golf, as you get a better pivot, as you make a better swing, and it becomes easier to actually get that golf club to come through the ball square. You get better and better and better. And in fact, going this route, eventually what happens is you will develop a hook. That's the goal, is to get a hook. In reality, everyone talks, oh, I got a hook. You want this hand to be able to come like that and learn to do that. Once you can do that, then it's working back the other way that turns you into a golfer that can shape shots and so on. So if you were to talk to Henry Cotton, he would say that this part of the hand is going to be influencing the draw. The pressure on this side, on the club head side of, say, of here, say the index finger and the middle finger, any pressure that you're putting on this side, the club head side of that, is going to be fade pressure. So, for instance, fade pressure would involve less pressure in these fingers and more pressure in the pincer fingers, or the swing wreckers that Hogan's talking about. There's other ways to hit a fade too. You can drop the thumb off. I talked about that on YouTube. But basically, if you were an engineer and you were looking at a hinge, there's no way that you would measure the pressure on the hinge out here. You would measure the pressure on the hinge on the inside of the hinge. So that's coming up here. And so when you're putting your hands together here, you've got, this is the area that everything's oscillating around. It's not the end. It's not, the club okay, the club may look like it's oscillating around the butt end of itself, but in reality it's oscillating around the balance point between the two hands in this grip. The reason that you're feeling that you have control when you've got pressure on the index finger, this finger, and the thumb is because you do. What's happening is you can feel what square is, you can feel the balance of the club better because these are sensitive fingers. And so you want to have pressure there. And because Jimmy's asking this question, he's a better golfer, so he's not struggling to square the golf club. He's getting this into a position where he's more able to shape shots. So the answer, if I can say there's an answer, is that all of your fingers are important. They're all giving you feedback. They're all participating. Pressure, if we call this the fulcrum point on the shaft, we'll call this area right here, this finger, the index finger, and the thumb. Everything that's happening in this, we'll call that the fulcrum point. The natural, because that's on the inside of the hinge where an engineer would do it, and that's where the club is sort of oscillating around. I'm doing it right now. And if we're manipulating on the club head side, we're shaping for a fade, and on the back we're going to increase our propensity to do this. Just makes it easier. You can hold the golf club out in front of you and you will just simply find that if this is your pressure, I'll take these fingers off, that the club does not roll over the same way. Pressure's here, it just goes no problem, just all over the place, no sweat. And when you pressure the thumb and forefinger, this blade does not want to deviate this way very much. So this is where you start, and it's good advice for starting. But it's not the end of the show. It's not the end of the game. I don't even know if I've answered this question, but I guess I've told you a lot about what influences the rate of closure here. Pressure on the thumbs and forefingers inhibits the rate of closure, and that also is going to indicate that you're going to be more likely to either come through square, or you're going to have more likelihood of hitting with a slightly open club face and hitting a fade. Whereas if you're pressuring at the tail end, you're going to have a better chance of this club head behaving like this. Now, a lot of people want this to happen, like instructors want you to have this happening through impact. I'm not really there. In my mind, I'm thinking you want to get it to square and you want to be driving it through. If you can do that, you're going to be, Byron Nelson, boom, right on the target. And it's going to be on a slight arc because the swing is executed on an arc. Everything is executed on an arc. But you don't want to be, Mo Norman, I don't want the toe. I don't want anything to be exciting the toe. You got a better chance of having the toe excited when your pressure is back here than when your pressure is central and to the club head side. So that is that's a whole bunch of information. That information is going to be useful, I believe, for better golfers, golfers who've already figured out how to draw the ball. If you haven't figured out how to draw the ball, stick with the last three fingers. Until you can get it done with that, then I would go the other way. Later on, if you talk Varden, you talk Cotton, you talk Bill Melhorn, all of those guys are talking about using different fingers other than just these last three. So that is that's all I have to say. So episode 2, I guess, is done. Secret in the Dirt. Sevam1. So keep your questions coming. I think if you don't know how to do it, check out episode 1 or the How to Ask Sevam1, which is I think up on the Ask Sevam1 thing, and it'll tell you how to do it. And if you're not a member of secretinthedirt.com, you should join. See ya.